Good Sunday afternoon, everybody. Come on in. Hope you're having a God bless Sunday and getting ready to start preparing your dinner. Just want to chime in and say hey to y'all in person and give you what my Sunday meal is for today. It is so beautiful outside today. I am so excited because this is the day that the Lord has made, and I will rejoice and be glad in it. So I hope you are. Hope you're having an enjoyable day like I am weather-wise. Excuse me. I'm here to tell you, I'm excited. Because it seems like I haven't cooked like this in a little while. So I'm doing what I love to do. I'm in my old stomping ground now when I'm cooking greens and some beautiful yellow squash and onions. So y'all know we in for a great meal today. I got some rutabagas. I was lucky enough to get the Piggly Wigglies the other day to get some of these ones that they had already cut. So all I got to do is finish peeling and dice them, cook them, mash them, put them in the pan. So I'm mixing greens, turnip greens and mustard greens. So I got 3 bags of these, and I think they're 1 pound. Yeah. So I got 3 pounds of greens, and that's a lot of greens because you know greens are light and they don't weigh a whole lot. So I am going to be cooking mustard greens and turnip greens together. I already got my turkey meat on over there cooking. So I'm doing smoked turkey necks, and I season my water with some chicken bouillon and some onion powder. So far, that's all I put in. Oh, and a little bit of red pepper. And for the meat for the day, I got some nice skinless chicken thighs. I haven't figured out how I'm going to do those yet, but we have the chicken. And I went to Walmart, and I've never seen them like this before, but I just had a fit beef chuck riblets, and they look like beef ribs because I've been looking for beef ribs and they're hard to find around here for a good price anyway. So these, I got 4 bags of those, so I'll be prepared and all that for Sunday dinner. So listen, y'all, hang out with me. Go ahead and get started. When I tell y'all I'm right at the very beginning, I haven't even opened the chicken. In fact, the chicken is still frozen. The meat ribs, they're not even open yet. So y'all got time to catch up with me. Now, on the bag, these greens say they've been triple washed, but y'all know I'm going to go back through them again because sometimes they have a few more stems than I want to have in my greens. So I'm going to go back through, get the stems out, and then, you might find a few bad greens, but they're supposed to be triple washed, so I'm going to go ahead and wash them a couple more times. So by the time I get through, they'll be quadruple washed. So let's get started over here. And like I said, the first thing I'm doing is go ahead and all I'm doing at this point, which I'm not going to video that, I've already taken 1 bag out. And what I do is just go back through them and make sure, see like those big stems, like even though they may have a lot of veggies or a lot of nutrients in there, I still don't want all that in my pot. So I go through and pick out, I don't pick out every last one, but the big ones, I do pick out. And I see like these things here, I don't want those in my pot. So always remember, when you're doing your greens already bagged, just sort of go through them a little bit and pick out any bad leaves or any real big stalky pieces out of there. So I'm going to go ahead and get these finished up, and I'll be back. And when I come back, I'll be ready to work on probably my rutabagas and my squash to show you how I prep those for cooking. But just to give you a little tip on prepping these bagged greens, don't just throw them right out of the bag into the pot. Put them in the sink first, rinse them a little bit, and they give you the opportunity to pick out any stock. So hold on just a second, and I will be right back to do the next phase of this dinner. Oh, I don't even know if y'all got you. I'm just talking. I didn't even have the camera right. Y'all excuse me. Okay, let's go back through this again. Got these greens here in my sink. Let me just get y'all down there. See that? Right down in there. Got them in the sink. And what I'm getting ready to do, like I just told you, but I wasn't real sure you didn't realize. Okay, so what I do is just go through, like I say, and just pick out the big stalky pieces. I've already pulled them out of this batch. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that through all of these bags. And then I'll rinse them off real good. And then I'll go ahead and get them into the pan and start cooking. Okay? So hang on, I'll be right back. Okay, got my big supersized pot ready with my turkey necks in and my seasoning. Get ready to put the greens in. And they're going to cook. These greens will probably cook for about 45 minutes. I've been had that meat cooking. Just want to let y'all see what I pulled out of. This is why I always go back to those bagged greens. I pulled out this many, probably about 1/4 of a pound of stalks and stems, all that. So I mean, you know, that's why I go back through them. They're pretty clean as far as I could tell, but I go back through them to rewash and to pull the stalks and stems out. So in go my greens, my turnips and mustard. The turnips didn't have they had a lot more stems in them than the mustard. The mustards were pretty good, but you know, mustard greens have thicker stalks in them. So these are all going to go in and cook down. I got about half this many more still in the sink that I got to put in there. So we're getting the greens going, and when y'all see these greens again, they will be ready to eat. So hang on. Okay, all the greens are in the pot now, so I'm just going to push them down into the juices. I got probably 2 quarts of water that I put in there, started off to cook my turkey necks with. And then I just went ahead and dropped the greens in. As you can see, as the heat hits them, they boil down a lot. So now they're at the point where I can cover them and just let them cook. And then, of course, we'll get them about done and taste them and see if we need to add any more seasoning to them. But I think for right now, those turkey necks, onion powder, a little bit of crushed red pepper, about a tablespoon of onion powder. And you know, the turkey necks are smoked, so they have all that good flavor in them, and they have salt, so you don't need to put a lot of salt in them. So we're just going to cover them and let them do what they do for about 45 minutes, and then we'll check on them, lower that heat a little bit. And we're going to get over here now to the rutabagas and the excuse me, the squash. So now, as far as the rutabagas and squash are concerned, we just simply got to clean them up. I'll just go ahead and demo one of these rutabagas, since they're a little bit more difficult. The squash is not that much to do, but the rutabagas, as I told you, I purchased these from Piggly Wiggly, and they were already cut in half or in quarters. And so all I have to do really right now to these rutabagas is go ahead and peel them, cut them up, and get them ready to put in some hot water to boil. And then when they get soft, I'll take them off and kind of chunk them up, and they'll be ready to go. So hold on just 1 minute, let me get my water ready. Okay, let's go ahead and get these rutabagas done. So as I said, I bought them, they were already cut in half, in quarters like this. So what I have to do at this point is go ahead and finish peeling them and cut them up a little bit more. And then the little bad spots you see on it, just shave it off like that. So what I'm going to do is going to cut that again and get them ready to go in my water. And it probably will take 30-45 minutes usually for these rutabagas to cook down and to soften up enough for me to just, you can either dice them beforehand or you can wait until they get done and then sort of you know, just take a fork or a potato masher, either one, and just mash them up so they're real thick and lumpy. Add you some butter to them, or you can add some, you know, some people cook fried bacon to put in them. Just add butter, a little bit of brown sugar, salt and pepper, and they're done. Because you know, rutabagas have a taste of their own. And when I'm doing rutabagas, I think of cabbage, just that for the smell and a little bit of the taste. That's kind of sort of like turnip roots, like that kind of flavor to them. So they're really, really simple to prepare. They just, you know, it just takes a little bit. And if you buy them whole, peeling them, and now this usually isn't on there. That's just like that because the air has hit them. I don't want that in my pot, so I cut it off. But cutting these are kind of hard, and I'm excited when I can go and find them already cut in half and put in quarters, and all I have to do is this to them. So we're going to get these cut up and ready to go in that water and cook them for about 45 minutes, and they're going to be some good old rutabagas. I don't know, some people don't even know what rutabagas are. I was raised on rutabagas. We ate these a lot growing up because it's just one of those good southern, as far as I knew, because we ate them all of my life. And I'm 72 years old, so I can call them good old southern vegetables. Okay, so guys, I shall return in a few minutes. Let me go ahead and get the rest of these done for you. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and get these squash going. Make sure you wash squash extra good. How they get gritty, I don't know, but you have to wash them. You know, just take them and let the water run over them like that, little lukewarm water. And just wash. And go ahead and cut the ends off of them. I've washed before I cut the ends off of them. And once I get the ends cut off, I'll wash them again. Because I don't know why squash are so gritty. I guess because they grow on the ground, sort of. They get grit on them. Because I have, and if you can see down in the bottom of this sink, you can see, put that little brown looking spot off. If you can see at the bottom of the sink, you can see grit. When you look at them, and when you purchase them in the store, you don't see it. But trust me, the grit is there, and if you don't wash them extra good, when you bite down on if you ever get down on grit when you eat them, it's over for me. I can't do it. I just cannot eat after I bite down on grit and something to eat. So, just make sure you wash them real good like so. And then I'm going to cut them and I'm going to slice them up. And we're going to put them in some water and boil them. And then we're going to put them in some butter with onions and saute them. And we're going to have some good old squash and onions. So this is a big veggie day for me. Y'all know me, I love veggies. So, but I'll just show you. I'm just going to cut them up like pieces about like that. That's it. Like I said, I'm going to boil them. Then put sliced onions in them and fry them in butter. A lot of times back in the day, again, bacon grease, chicken grease, whatever. Honey, you talk about some good eating, but you know, modern day, we have to eat a little bit better, honey. These bodies have broken down now. I can't eat all that bacon grease no more like I used to. That's what I'm told I'm not should not. So try to do like I'm supposed to do, y'all. So this is it for the squash, except to go ahead. They're clean, nice and clean. I'm gonna go ahead and put them over here. And I've got some water over there boiling, waiting, ready. I'm gonna put a little bit of salt in there. No, I'm not. I'm gonna put a little bit of salt in those rutabagas, not squash. Be careful with squash. See, I'm so I won't say paranoid. I just have to make sure you squash them. I put through one more little rinse, y'all, before I put them in that water. So anyway, what I was going to say is then I put about a teaspoon of salt in my rutabagas. Just I don't like to add salt once I get them cooked, and then I put my brown sugar and butter in them and just saute them a little bit. Same thing with the squash. Now squash, be careful when you salt your squash. I'm going to tell you, put about a teaspoon and a half of salt in your squash when you're sauteing them. Don't put any more than that, because if you do, I'm here to tell you they're going to be too salty, because squash absorbs. They're very porous, so they suck in, and they'll have you thinking they're not salty when you first taste them, but then later on that salt will set in and absorb and it'll be too salty. That's happened to me before, but I know better now. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and get these squash in this hot water back here and let them boil for about 30 minutes, and then we'll come back. So hold on now. The veggies are all on now, cooking nicely. The rutabagas are boiling nicely. Of course, they got to boil for about 45 minutes. And the squash are back there. They're coming to a boil. The greens are about halfway done. So this is how you get your veggies all together. I'm going to come back and show you how to finish off these greens. You know, it's a matter of just cooking them down to a certain point and letting them simmer. and let those juices flow through them. And then I'm going to put the lid right back on there. Okay, and then your squash and your rutabagas, cabbage. I love cabbage. Y'all know I love cabbage. I have them about twice a month, 3 times a month, really. Goodness, what the world? Okay, that's a piece of turnip green floating around there. But anyway, the squash and the rutabagas, I'm going to come back and finish them off in about 20 or 30 minutes so that you can see how to cook cabbage. Do I need to go buy another cabbage? I don't think so. Anyway, I'm just going to finish off I'm going to show you how to finish off the rutabagas and the squash, y'all. I'm going to get it together, really. Honestly, I got other stuff on my mind. I got ribs and chicken on my mind because I think I'm going to do them separately on a different video. How is that? So if you want to know just how to cook veggies, you can just watch this video as such. So I think that's how I'm going to do it. That's what's floating through my mind. But anyway, in 30 minutes, I'm going to be back and show y'all how to finish off the last 2 veggies. And by that time, the greens should be well done. So hold on, and I'll be right back to finish these rutabagas and squash off. Okay, y'all, I'm back. It's time to get these squash going. Okay, as you can see, I've already taken them out of the pan, drained them, seasoned them with some complete seasoning, black pepper, onion powder, and I'm going to put a little bit of salt when you start cooking. So I got my onions all chopped, so I got my Smart Start, or you can use butter. That is how we fry squash. Okay, so we're going to get that olive or grease or whatever you're going to fry them in as hot as you can. And go ahead and get your squash and onions going. Yummy, 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 yummy. That's going to be some good eating, y'all. So we're going to let them sit in that oil, in that Smart Start. And basically what you're going to do, you're going to fry them down until they get sort of a little brown crisp on them. But that oil has got to cook down. It's got to get all heated all the way up. That's why it's necessary that you make sure that whatever you're using, the oil, butter, margarine, whatever you use, make sure it's very, very hot to the point where they'll fry. So, got our fried squash going. The next thing I'm going to get going here is going to be our rutabagas. Okay, I've got to drain them off, get them in the pan, and simply just chop them up, put some brown sugar and butter. I already got my pan back here on the back. Let's just change burners there. Got my Smart Start in there, about a half a cup of Smart Start, and a cup of Smart Start back there for my squash. So let's go ahead and get these rutabagas drained. Really, really good. We want some of the water to stay in, but we're going to go ahead and just put them right on in there. Because they're going to cook, we're going to let them cook just for a little while. Get that butter cooked through them. And of course, we're going to put a half a cup of brown sugar in, some black pepper. Remember, we put a little bit of salt, about 3/4 of a teaspoon of salt in them while they were cooking. Let's get the sugar going. There's my half cup of brown sugar. Let's get some black pepper. About a good half teaspoon of black pepper. Just keep the heat up high until everything gets moving real good, and then you can turn that heat down and just let them simmer 15-20 minutes, and you'll be good to go with these rutabagas because they're already done. You just want to cook that brown sugar and the black pepper into them. Okay. Alrighty. And just chop them, chop in them. Just leave them real nice and chunky. Yeah. Nice and chunky. Those squash are cooking just like I want them to cook back there on that back burner. My greens are done, by the way. And I'm gonna get ready. Now I went ahead started my meat on another video. So I'm gonna end this video out and I'll put it together for Sunday dinner. But so that you know how to cook these veggies, just chop, chop, chop in them. Okay. Okay. Whew. All these veggies are smelling good, y'all. And like I say, you're just going to let those squash cook until all of the oil and everything just cooks right out of them and it gets down to the bottom of the pan. Now that I got the rutabagas going, and that's basically what they're going to look like right there. Like I said, we're going to let them cook at this point. Okay, now that I hear the oil is cooking out the bottom of that pan, I'm going to go ahead and turn it down. And I'm going to cover it in a minute. Not before I'm going to switch burners here. Okay. Because I'm ready to turn the burner down on that. But the squash, whew, Lord, I wish y'all could smell them. This reminds you of what Mama used to cook on Sunday. I'm going to find my lid and put on those, let's turn the squash up. I did the reverse of what I meant to do. Yeah. Alrighty then. There we go. Now we don't cover the squash while they're cooking, but we can cover the rutabagas. That lid actually goes on there, but we'll get it right in just a sec. Let's get over here to the greens. They are ready. The greens are done. See how that green? Oh, see how that big old pot of greens cooked all the way down? They are done. They're ready to eat, and they are delicious. Those turkey necks are cooked in, so they're ready to go to. I love me a good old turkey neck out of that pot. But you see, I could really have cooked maybe another bag of greens in there. That pot, you don't realize, this thing here holds 3 gallons, so that's a lot of food in that particular pot there. So all my veggies are ready, except for the squash is the only thing that I will allow it to cook down so that all the juices will cook out of the squash until the point. Now some people will have theirs, you know, they don't go all the way down. It's almost like making roux. I cook my squash down to the point where it gets to the bottom of the pan where they start to brown a little bit. That's the way Mama used to cook hers. But they all start out just like this. So it depends on where you want to take them to. At this point right here, they got to cook another 20 minutes before those onions get done. And then if you want to take it all the way down to browning those onions in there, you still got plenty of juice in that pan. And some spots on here, they're starting to go ahead and cook down. See, right there, that's beginning to cook down. So that's the goodie right there. So I can go ahead and lower the heat. When you look down there and see those little brown crispins coming up in the pan, like right there, that lets you know they're getting to the point where you can turn that heat down and just let them cook and get those onions good and tender. Cook all those flavors in, and then you can add a little bit of salt, not a lot, because I did remember that margarine, that quick start is in there, Smart Start is in there, and I put some about a teaspoon and a half of complete season. It has some salt content. Remember what I told you about squash? They absorb salt real much. Got that rear, got it all the way down. Whew. Can't wait to eat, y'all. So hang on one sec for me and I'll return. Okay, y'all, the veggies are all ready. The rutabagas, the squash and the greens are ready. I'm getting ready to go ahead and pop these ribs in the oven, and they're going to cook for about 2.5 to 3 hours. I'm debating about the chicken because I forgot I already had purchased some chopped barbecue yesterday to have to this. I think I'm just going to not do the chicken today and just do that chopped barbecue. It comes frozen from a restaurant not too far from here. So hold on just a minute and I will get to the end of this video. I'm not going to end it like I normally end it because it's part of Sunday dinner. This is going to be attached to the ribs. So I'm going to turn off here and I'm going to show you how I put these ribs together, get them in the oven so they'll be ready. So I've still got to cook some ribs. I got the chopped barbecue together and some cornbread that's going to go with this meal. So, but even these 3 veggies here, if you didn't want to have any meat, this is a good circle of veggies. I mean, for me. So that's how you cook your good old Sunday veggies. Anytime they freeze well. So y'all, thank y'all for hanging out with me while I get the veggies ready for Sunday dinner. We'll be back later on with part 2 with the meats for Sunday dinner. So until I come back, just hang in there. We're going to get the rest of this meal going. Love you. Okay, y'all, there they are. Those already seasoned and prepped beef ribs going in the oven with barbecue sauce and General Tso's sauce and sweet Thai chili sauce, seasoned, of course, with none other than complete seasoning, a little bit of onion powder, garlic powder, and they're ready to go in the oven for about 2.5 hours, so they'll be falling off the bone when they come out the oven. So we're going to put this is the other part of our Sunday dinner along with the barbecue, chopped barbecue that's already purchased. So hang in there and we're going to get back and show you these again when they come out of the oven. So don't go nowhere. Okay, y'all, Sunday dinner is done. It's ready. I've already done my separate tape for the veggies, for the squash, rutabagas, and the greens. So now I've added the ribs. The ribs are ready. The barbecue from McCalls is ready. And on second thought, last minute, I made a bowl of potato salad, y'all. Homemade potato salad. 2 pounds of potatoes, 5 eggs, 1.5 cups of mayo, half a cup of pickle relish, half teaspoon of salt, mix it up and you got potato salad. Oh yeah, throw a little tomato ketchup in there, y'all. And of course we got hush puppies from McCalls as well. So thank y'all for stopping by. Dinner is ready. The flavor train is here. They're ready to eat. So until I decide to cook again, love you guys. Toodaloo.
How are they? You do? They're stored here.